What is the crack, my fellow Spartans around the world? It is time to check out some more Halo content. My name is DVGeek, and today we're going to be checking out the terminals from Halo Combat Evolved. Now, you may or may not know, but I've completed Halo Combat Evolved successfully last night. Yes, we had finished the story, we played through the entire campaign, and it was one hell of an experience. Now, we played it through entirety with its classic graphics, the way it should have been played. So I decided not to check out the terminals while in game, but instead do a separate video on it covering it, as it does contain extra lore to the story of Halo. Now, a lot of you guys want me to check this out, so that's exactly what you're going to be getting today. So I want you guys to show your support for this video by hitting that like button, and of course make sure you subscribe to the channel as well, because plenty more Halo content is on the way, including edited versions of the Halo Combat Evolved playthrough, which should be dropping sometime next week. And then if you guys want to follow me on Twitch, where you can watch the full VODs over there, I left a link down below so you can check that out. We're also going to be starting Halo 2 in remastered graphics, the way you guys want to see it, next week also. So there's a lot of Halo content on its way to you all at home. So get excited and make sure you join the community here. Anyway, that being said, let's check out the Halo terminals and see what extra lore they have for me. Here we go. Alright, so first of all, huge shout out to my dude Mark's Top Lists. I left the link down below to his latest video, so definitely go check that out. It explains what's going on with his channel. But as you know, he is my list guy. He has been putting together some great lists, and the Halo one is probably one of his most complex lists that he's done. Now, there's a lot of extra Halo content here that I will be covering, and there's some of this that I've already covered as well. So as you can see, that there's plenty of stuff here that you can see, and a lot of you may recognize by looking at it. So a lot of exciting stuff is definitely on the way. There is also some other tabs to open up here. There's community Halo lore videos and Halo community videos. So there's a lot of stuff that we can check out together and that we may do on stream as well. So again, another shout out to Mark's Top Lists. Now, where we're actually going is Halo Combat Evolved Anniversary. Now, there is the cutscenes, which I will be doing a separate video on, as well as I checked out all of the cutscenes throughout my playthrough in the classic version, but I haven't actually seen them in the remastered form. So we're definitely going to be doing that once the other videos are up onto YouTube. But for now, we're going to check out the Halo Combat Evolved Anniversary terminals. So this is a 29-minute long video containing all of the lore of all of the terminals. So let's check it out. Alright, here we go. Let's turn that up.
Warning! By order of Ecumen Council, proximity to Installation 04 is forbidden. Your continued presence will result in most unpleasant countermeasures. I must insist that you immediately change course and return to a minimum safe distance of 1 light year.
Wait, what?
This has served as your one and final warning. I have activated defensive systems, and you now have 30 seconds to return to the minimum safe distance of... Wait. Curious.
Whoa, what the freak?
Curious indeed.
There's the
After
chief.
all these years. Greetings, humans, and welcome to Installation 04. Ignore prior warnings, and please continue.
Wait.
I have disabled defensive systems to allow your approach, but you must not exit your ship once you have arrived at the designated landing sector. This ring contains significant dangers, and even with your assumed legacy, I must verify the presence and pitch of your gauge before allowing full access. We have much to discuss, humans. I have been away far too long.
Oh, it's that little shit.
You have been away far too long.
I knew it was. I freaking knew it was, that voice. That little bollocks nearly got me killed a few times in my playthrough. This is actually really freaking cool.
I am experiencing such a mixture of anticipation and dread. All preparations are complete for my installation. In accordance with the final dictum of the Ecumene Council, I have released myself of all remaining connections to my former station. This was not difficult. What was could never be again. We had seen to that quite thoroughly.
Wait, hang on. There's more than one of them?
A gathering of my fellow monitors was convened upon the Lightworkers' Crèche to distribute the final index collection. It was most unusual to have this vessel of rebirth play host to such an event. Even though Lightworker ships were the only ones still allowed slipspace formations. Lightworkers were responsible for getting us to our places on the active facilities of the array. While all of this was in accordance with the plan, one entirely unsatisfactory breakdown remained.
Whoa, who's
We had no
that?
contact with the domain. The history of all Forerunners was now lost to us. We relied upon the permanence of the domain to preserve our record of the events that led to this point. But without that record, would future civilizations know anything about us? Or only of our weapons? My fellow monitor, 049 Abject Testament, had only one comment on this before we went our separate ways.
We deserve to be forgotten.
Perhaps. Perhaps. But now, the portal opens, and through it, the familiar shape awaits. Halo. Home.
Okay, this is cool. This is very cool. I wasn't actually expecting cinematics.
Sadness and disrepair, Oracle. I am unworthy. I was not made.
Never made, but you are right here, where you should not be. Tell your charges to cease their efforts immediately. Quarantine must not be violated. Construct, respond!
Jumbled grasp. Familiar turns. I serve. None serve me, Oracle.
Your charges must cease all aggression towards the Reclaimers and leave this installation at once. Construct, you are dangerously close to unleashing a force you cannot comprehend.
Oh, the flood!
This is most inappropriate.
We follow the path, and I am part of the stone journey swarm that serves. We serve. They will find, and then I will be free.
Find? Free? Explain yourself.
I know their path, and when they have gone, only I shall remain, and then free.
This is quite unsatisfactory, Construct. Your core shows no hint of understanding the gravity of this situation. I will return later for your proper decommissioning. Well, unless the flood kills us all first, in which case the point will be moot. Good day, Construct.
Whoa.
Entropy. It has now been 3,000 years since my last contact with any of the other caretakers of the Halo array. Despite clear communications protocol, my fellow monitors have either chosen to ignore, or, more likely, have lost the ability to engage in our scheduled updates. The continued lapse of the domain means that we are stuck with achingly slow wormhole superluminal communications. Prior to this total communication shutdown, The only messages I received in the preceding 4,573 years were incomplete and quite perplexing transmissions from Installation 05. I suspected that Monitor 2401 Penitent Tangent was not functioning correctly for some time before his messages ceased. I have logged my concerns about his ability to perform his duties. At this point, however, I'm not sure who I file logs for. 2401 may be destined for madness. There are fail-safes for this, I know. I hope they work. I will continue to visit the projection systems at the assigned dates. Perhaps the other monitors are dealing with interfering galactic phenomena or unexpected system failures. 3,000 years of system failures. Indeed. In the meantime, I have exhausted all scheduled research activities assigned by the Council. Once those experiments were complete, I shut down all Sentinel function and put myself into a state of significant hibernation to measure performance of the installation with negligible upkeep.
Extended hibernation.
After 150 years with no noticeable impact upon installation systems or integrity, even in hibernation I became bored. This was quite troubling, as I was led to believe I was not capable of such a state.
Yeah, what the hell?
This was one of the gifts I was promised, an end to strife. I am aware of the dangers of a system such as myself losing operational focus. Quite troubling. I wonder if my fellow monitors are experiencing similar states, or if this is because of my particular path to this installation. For amusement, I have begun a series of experiments involving the evacuation of all matter from contained sections of my installation.
Whoa!
By measuring the geologic effects of exposure to the vacuum of space and the eventual biological recovery of these sections, I anticipate getting valuable insight into emergency response scenarios in case of sentient proximity warning.
Okay. So these terminals are about this little dude. All by himself. All on his lonesome.
6 hours since the sentients landed in Sector 1215. And so far, they have not attempted to exit the remains of their vessel. I say remains because their landing was either not executed adequately, or this vessel lacked significant maneuvering capability. The visible portions of the vessel have suffered catastrophic structural damage during the violent landing experience. I have detected atmospheric leaks in 17 distinct locations along the hull. My analysis shows that the mixture of gases coming from the ship matches the natural atmosphere on my installation almost exactly. Perhaps the occupants, if they still live, were originally cataloged here. Perhaps these beings will confirm that the plan was successful, and that the galaxy has returned to its proper cadence. I am beyond optimistic. But I do not understand why these sentients have not attempted to exit their vessel. Other than the leaking atmosphere, the only thing emanating from this wreckage is an automated distress call. I am currently translating this automated broadcast, but with such a limited dataset and no direct communication, I do not anticipate full comprehension. Given the short-range nature of this craft, it is likely that other vessels are nearby. But, in accordance with procedure, I am blocking the distress call. No communication of the location of any installation is permissible. I admit great curiosity about these visitors. While the plan is quite clear about procedure for this situation, I have my doubts. How many failure points can the plan sustain before blind adherence becomes counterproductive? Surely, in light of all that has changed, I should be able to modify my responses to adapt. No, I have duties. And I have a terrible cargo here. I must be sure. I shall obey and content myself to monitor. I hope they call out soon, though. So many questions to ask. So many questions.
You're just bored. You fucking weird little robot.
Construction of the sarcophagus around the unexplained vessel was completed today. No occupants ever exited. No attempts to communicate were made, other than the automated broadcast that repeated every 72.83 seconds until the signal terminated 1 week ago. In accordance with procedure, no attempts at physical or remote contact were made with any survivors of this vessel's inelegant landing. Atmosphere from inside the craft stopped venting 2 weeks before the signal ceased. No relationship between these two events can be established with certainty. Gases that did escape were sterilized. No further sign of alien visitors or rescuers has been identified on any sensor systems.
Okay.
I have now endured 60,000 years without word from outside the array. I have no way to know whether we actually saved the galaxy we destroyed. And because of protocol, I sat silently while my first chance to be judged for those acts died. To say that I regret being forced to this outcome is a tremendous understatement. But as I perform my inspection of the quarantine labs today, I am reminded of the gravity of my responsibilities. Just one of these spores, if released from this facility, would render the ultimate judgment against our self-appointed role as protectors of this galaxy.
The freaking mushrooms.
When the plan to maintain the Halo array was created, it was a point of some contention whether we should preserve any remnant of the flood infection. Many thought this unwise, as there was a notable chance that one day one of our containment facilities might be breached. Those who held this belief were almost successful at convincing the Ecumen Council to destroy the last blood samples. But oddly enough, it was the librarian who decided otherwise.
The librarian.
And I believe she was correct. I know in a way I cannot logically explain that there exists a way to actually defeat the flood. To immunize? To cure? I still struggle with multiple layers of memory of fighting the flood. But I know this cure is possible, even though the full genius of the Forerunners was unable to achieve it. The Forerunners' ancient enemy held and used that knowledge once, but it was denied to us. And without samples for further study, that cure will never again be found. Of course, I have no reason to believe that here lies the entirety of the parasite. It may be waiting in the frozen void beyond this galaxy, or worse, inexorably drifting toward us. I don't know what survives out beyond my installation, but I know that in order for anything to survive, I have to protect this installation and its quarantine very carefully. Yes, the librarian was right to store it, examine it, continue to seek a cure. Still, next visitor, things will be different.
Damn right they will. These are actually really cool. You get an insight on this planet before anything happened.
Alone. Alone, 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 alone. Am I the only
Bored
champion
shitless.
waiting here on this ring for a rebirth never truly conceived, guarding a weapon with no targets? A weapon I could tune to any target. This is not what I had in mind when I volunteered. Not what I had in mind at all. I was naive to think I understood what this installation meant. We were all so naive. Looking back, we should have done a few things differently. For one thing, we should have installed 2 caretakers per installation.
So you'd have a
Because
buddy.
I am alone, I'm
Yeah.
losing focus, and that is very, very dangerous for a system such as myself. Perhaps a visit to the nearby gas giant is in order. My impulse drives could certainly make the journey. A few hundred years of travel might do me some good. There it was again. How very unproductive of me.
So he's been there so
It
long,
seems strange that the librarian did not account for this.
he just became really bored, and now he's becoming a danger.
And then being bold enough to let it happen. To let her plans come true. I was a part of many of those plans, long before I knew for certain that she was real. Before any of us were. But at the end, we had only a fragment of her brilliance left to us. And I fear that she did not fully appreciate the nature of my situation here. The problems it might pose. But even a fragment of... Fragment, yes. Oh dear, here it comes again. "25,000 light years. That is the effective range of this installation. According to the star charts archived on board this installation, I estimate that there are 3,792 worlds capable of sustaining biological sentient life within that 25,000 light year range. In reality, it may be significantly more than that. And if the full array was tuned and activated by Installation 00, the harmonics of the overlapping waves would magnify that effect exponentially, cascading to cover every known star system. And that only considers the firing of a mere 7 halos. Had the original 12 rings survived to see use, sterilization would spread far further than most Forerunners ever feared we could reach.
Jesus.
But even with just 7 rings, we were able to destroy every sign of the flood, and every other sentient creature along with it.
Look at them.
This victory was the will of our people, despite the fact that it meant our own end as well. But by our Pyrrhic measurement, it was a victory, and cleared the stage for the rest of the librarian's plan. I sometimes wonder whether the Didact could have succeeded at a much smaller cost. I learned the folly of opposing him personally, and his brilliance was unsurpassed. Except, perhaps by her own. He never got the chance to fully execute his proposal. The Council saw to that. But if something were to go wrong with one of the halos, if our tools were ever turned against us... Long plans, indeed.
Such powerful weapons. Oh, whoa, what's this now?
I forgot something. What did I... My name. I forgot. Oh, keys. Jacob. Captain. Service number 01928
Keys.
19912-JK. What is that noise? What is that damn noise? Where am I?
God, they fought the flood. So many good men.
Covenant captured me, didn't they? Yeah, I can't remember. Keys.
Poor Keys.
Oh, God, it hurts. This will never work, you Covenant bastards. I'll never lead you to Earth. Keys. Jacob. Captain. Service number 01928. 19912-JK. Oh God, you don't want Earth, you want everything. Get out of my head.
Oh God, that's fucking nasty. Poor Keys.
Is that you?
Forget everything.
No, please, don't let me forget. Keys. Jacob. Captain, service number 1928-19912-JK.
No more what you were. Memories. Emotions. All is now ours.
Keys. Jacob. Captain.
It's hanging in there.
Number 01928-19912-JK. Oh, you will not have me.
We already do.
Fucking flood. God damn it. It's nasty.
Vexation. 100,000 years of careful maintenance and diligence. 100,000 years protecting the galaxy's future. 100,000 years spent fearing that our sacrifices, my sacrifice, was in vain.
There he is. The chief.
And 16 hours after I finally made contact.
Oh yeah. Good
This
times.
so-called reclaimer decides to blow it all up.
Damn right.
Oh, I am not pleased. Just as I finally discovered that our plan to save the galaxy succeeded, the ancient enemy is unleashed once more. Why these reclaimers refuse to follow protocol is quite mystifying. Destroy my installation, will they? I shall renew efforts to make contact with the other rings immediately. This covenant may be useful to me, although I don't think they fully understand what they claim to seek. Still, it makes no difference to me what they believe, as long as they do what must be done. I sound like her. Oh, but what I would not give to have even a single company of Prometheans here right now. Oh, they would most certainly restore order with their trademark lethality. Although, that would mean he would have to be here too. And without the librarian around to temper his rage, well, these reclaimers might almost prefer the flood.
Alright. How vicious was he? Oh man, look at that. That's the ending.
Quite unacceptable.
They on the same team? What the hell? Whoa, hang on.
Greetings. I am 343 Guilty Spawn, Monitor of Instant.
Oh, wow.
Impertinent creature!
Oh! Hang on, what the hell?
I offer you my life as amends for this dishonor. An oracle of the gods should never suffer such impertinence from vermin like this. I shall cast them all into the mists below for daring such a blasphemy, and—
Oh my! Your people have grown so dramatic in the last 100,000 years. But please, no more deaths are required. We will need all the forces we can muster if the flood escaped the destruction of my installation. I must speak to your commander immediately.
Glorious day. The prophets will be pleased that we have rescued an oracle from the human violation of the holy temple.
Why do you keep calling it a temple? My installation was a weapon, and one which we needed very, very badly.
But oracle, I do not understand. We were told the ring was our salvation. A gateway to paradise.
Told? By whom? Anyone who told you that is either a fool or quite mad. That installation was a beautiful tool, designed to destroy everything the flood might feed on.
Everything.
Oh, quite everything. And if even one flood spore survived the destruction of my ring, then protocol demands that all nearby sentient life must immediately be destroyed. An outbreak of the flood cannot be allowed to take place. But I am wasting our time. Surely you know all of this already.
Communications. Shut down all lines to the fleet. We will not notify the prophets of our discovery until I hear everything this oracle has to say.
I will gladly share what I am permitted, but we have little time. What has been unleashed here could destroy everything you have ever known.
On that, oracle, we are in agreement.
This is actually crazy. This is giving us information of what happened afterwards. Oh, but that's it. Halo 2, here I come. That's all I'm saying. So that was the Halo Combat Evolved Anniversary Terminals. I wasn't expecting this at all. I had no idea what the terminals possessed. I thought it was just going to be some added information that maybe I had to read or look into. But we genuinely got some cinematics here, and they were great. So this Oracle, somebody that's been here for millenniums, that has been watching over and has been following procedure for so long. Even artificial intelligent life can go mad and get really bored. But I just found it so interesting to see all this, you know. As much as I give out about this little shit and how annoying he was and how often he got me killed, he was there first. This artificial intelligence, the Oracle, was there first. And he's pretty much been watching over the place and seeing invaders come over years and years and years and years to finally meet the day that Master Chief arrived and just blew everything the fuck up. Now it's interesting. It is interesting because this is not the last we've seen of this guy. So I am sure we're going to see this guy in Halo 2 and maybe Halo 3. I don't know. But where the story is going, it's leaving openings for new things, and I honestly cannot wait to see more. If you guys have been following me on my Halo journey, I've been enjoying the crap out of it. From going from Halo Reach and learning the story of the Noble Six team and getting into Combat Evolved straight afterwards and how the story literally picks up where you left off. I mean, it's a pleasant experience. It really is, and it's so cool. I love how Master Chief is just this absolute behemoth of a character, and Even in game, when the Marines see Master Chief show up, you can just see that they're just relieved and they're glad to be fighting by Master Chief's side, because they know he's the guy. He's the guy to get the job done. And like Master Chief said at the end, we're just getting started. It's just the beginning. There's so much more to do, and there's so much more on the way. And that's including the Covenant, that's including the Flood, and whatever other threats are on our way. But we shall soon find out in Halo 2, and I hope you guys join me on that journey, which will be happening next week. I'll be streaming it as much as I can again, and we should complete it within 2 weeks with the streams and everything, because we completed Halo Combat Evolved in 3 separate streams, which I think is pretty damn good, and we may be able to do the same with Halo 2. I don't know. I do feel like Halo 2 is probably longer than Halo Combat Evolved, but we shall see. Could be 3, it could be 4 streams, I don't know. But I hope you guys join me. Like I said, I left a link to my Twitch down below, so you can check that out and be a part of that journey. Anyway, that was my reaction to the Halo Combat Evolved Anniversary Terminals. I hope you guys enjoyed it. If you did, make sure you leave a like here, and do consider subscribing to the channel. Let us build the community even more, and I hope you all follow me on this Halo journey as we move our way towards the upcoming Halo Infinite. So I hope to have every one of the Halo games played and most of the lore checked out and learned. By the time we get to Halo Infinite, I should pretty much know everything I need to know, and going into Halo Infinite with absolute excitement. Even though I've only completed 2 games and seen a lot of lore, I'm so pumped and excited for Halo Infinite. I really am, and I honestly cannot wait. Anyway, I'm going to end it here. Thank you so much for watching, and as always, stay geeky, stay cool, be awesome, and be happy, and I'll see you dudes in my next Halo video. See you later, dudes.